My name is Jamie Morrison. I'm the head coach of the Dutch women's national team and have been for the past 2.5 years. When I saw this team back in 2014, I knew they had the pieces and I knew they had the fighting spirit to some extent to be one of the best teams in the world. And since then, we've added pieces, and there's some young pieces to this team. And that's what you need to go out and win a gold medal. And it motivates me every single day because this might be the best opportunity for this program to ever win a gold medal. I see myself as a facilitator. I believe strongly in bringing in great people and letting them do their work. And giving it direction is my job, is making sure that, hey, we're all on the same page. We're going in the same direction. These are the volleyball systems we're going to run. This is the culture we want to have, but it's their responsibility also to make sure it's happening. Let's go! I think our players, to some extent our staff, will also naturally focus on what's next. They want to win this tournament that's coming up because that feels good. So it's one, using the motivation of the short term to facilitate the long term. And then two, as a leader, make sure that we look at the long term and make sure that within these mini goals of the day, they're working us towards something bigger. We have a large team. One of the things we talk a lot about, just regardless of player or staff, it's do your job. Like there's a job responsibilities, and maybe I'm a little different of a volleyball coach, but I put those together for our athletes. Like, hey, here's your job description. Do your job is number one. And then two, just there has to be some interaction between those. So we talk a lot about players, for example, about how different positions should communicate and how they can help each other be better. When I became a head coach, I think the biggest thing, the newest thing for me was having to manage a staff, of having these different people with different expertise operating together and different opinions operating together. So it's setting up systems within that one, we talk a lot about strengths and weaknesses and understanding that everyone has them. And sometimes one staff member has to pick up for another person. And also within that, making sure you hire people that fill each other's strengths and weaknesses, including mine. I kind of went with a book I read in terms of hiring people that are humble, people that are hungry, and people that are smart emotionally. I can teach the rest. I can teach people how to coach volleyball. I can teach some other things. I can't really teach those three things. So, our staff's good in a lot of different ways. I think one, we have a lot of balance. So, and I mean that just emotionally. We have people that are goofy. We have people that are energetic. We have people that are calm. And I think maybe one of the most common things is we have people that are very kind and very humble. They want to make sure that the person next to them isn't stumbling. And they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that happens. And I think that's a powerful thing. It's not always the best team that wins. So for me, it's how do we develop this team that's the best in the world? And if I can do that by 2020, we go into the Olympics and we get there and we don't necessarily achieve that short-term goal, and it will be a short-term goal by that point, then it is what it is, and I have to be okay with that. But for me, I don't want to live and die based on one match or one ball going off a block, because it's not a great way to live. So success to me is about, hey, how do we establish a process that gets us to be the best in the world? I talk to our girls a lot about failure because we play a sport where we're not going to be successful every single time. I don't care about it as much as I care about the response to that failure. And when we don't reach a goal, when we don't get somewhere, obviously I'm disappointed, anybody is, but you can either avoid it or you can sit in it and you can learn from it, because it's an opportunity to learn something. You learn more from failures than you ever do from successes. I think along the way there's some things that can happen, and I think one of the ones I really want to do is enjoy the process. I think it's so easy to get caught up in high-level sports of being stressed out every single day about trying to achieve this thing that's maybe never been done before. But making sure that I have people around me and players and our staff that are going to enjoy each other, that's an important goal for me. And then it's to grow and learn. This is my first head coaching opportunity. So when I got here, there's no way, shape, or form that I could accept that I'm a finished product. So every single day I've learned while I've been here. I've learned from our players, I've learned from the staff, I've tried to go out into the world and learn from other people, tried to read and make sure that I'm educating myself and growing from this amazing opportunity that I have in front of me. Everything's about Tokyo right now. It's how do we use this qualifier to create a sense of urgency so that we can get better at some stuff that might help us in Tokyo, but more importantly, to make sure that we have that chance to punch that ticket to get there. And just staying true to the process takes the pressure off of the moment. And then again, have fun. At the end of the day, like I tell myself this, I've never said it to the players, but it's 6 people on a ball. it's really fun to go play. We're getting to do what we love for a living. So it's reframing, hey, it's this threat that's coming up as opposed to, hey, here's this opportunity. And for me personally, looking at this qualifier, if there was one match in the world that I would want to watch this year, it's us playing it.